Honey, once you get behind, you be behind and you just feel like, oh my God, am I ever gonna catch up? So I just said, forget it.
She got that rich girl LA vibe. She whip it good in her daddy's 95. Rough sex on the bedroom floor. Hop in the shower, she begging for more. Do not disturb on the hotel door. Waking the neighbors. All I want is champagne and sunshine.
I am your girl, Talisa Rae. What's up? How you doing? Ray of Sunshines. We are reviewing The Real Housewives of Potomac, season number 4, episode number 6. Boundaries, bayous, and beignets. So if you want me to go back and review 4 and 5, which I missed, I did watch them and take notes. I just haven't had time. I just figured we'd catch up. Unless you tell me otherwise, you can drop that down below in the comments. And if you'd like me to, I will review 4 and 5 together, okay? So when this episode airs, the ladies have picked up where they left off in episode 5. Ashley and Candiace are going at it, okay? And because I did not upload, I just want to tell you that I feel like Candiace needs to sit the fuck down. She is definitely out of bounds. So, I mean, a lot of people were drinking before they got pregnant, and I get that Ashley has some kind of fertility issues, but does she? She doesn't. She just had a miscarriage, okay? Anyway, let's keep it pushing. Oh, I had also said that Gizelle needed to mind her business. If it wasn't for Gizelle bringing the shit up, talking about, well, Candiace said she felt like you really didn't want to have a baby, then it wouldn't be a problem. We wouldn't even be here. That was a private conversation. But y'all know how that was a poke the bear. Because Candiace is a bit of a wild card. Because Gizelle's the one who started it, she's also the one who helped end it. Honey, then she ends up kicking everybody out. There's not really any resolution provided except for, I'm gonna keep on drinking, watch me guzzle this down from Ashley, and you do that, okay? So we're gonna move on to the next day. Day 3. If you remember the night before they went out, Karen didn't go because she was grieving. Everybody grieves differently, and we need to respect that, Gizelle, because, you know, I guess Gizelle was feeling some kind of way because Karen was on live. What that got to do with nothing? She just wanted to thank the people for, you know, praying for her and wishing her well and offering their condolences. Gizelle, you need to sit down, okay? So when Karen comes down, Karen thanks Gizelle for respecting her space. And I'm thinking, well, when this plays back, she's going to see that Gizelle really wasn't for the space, okay? But let her have it. Told her to come down, but told her she wasn't. At this point, the ladies split up. So you have Robyn, Monique, and Karen going to the Alligator Swamp tour. You have Katie and Ashley going to a tarot reading. And then you have Gizelle and Candiace going to Dookie Chase for dinner and to meet with the mayor of Louisiana and her dad. Now, I'm going to just say something. When Katie and Ashley went outside and Katie got that down real low and got to taking the pictures, everybody needs a friend like Katie, because we want the right angle. We want somebody to take 1,000,000 photos. I guess something is happening around my house. We want our friends to take 1,000,000 photos, but sometimes they don't, especially when they don't understand the importance of the perfect picture. Something must have happened. Okay, I don't know if the helicopter is gone, but we're going to try and make it through this, okay? So excuse that noise in the background. I live in an urban community. Okay? When Monique, Robyn, and Karen get on the bus, the transportation, Monique makes mention of the night before's antics. And they seem to have a consensus, specifically Robyn and Monique, that quite possibly Candiace is deflecting her horrible relationship with her mother, and that she really needs to grow up. Like, she likes to say, I'm grown. And you know what they say, anybody that always constantly has to say that they're grown, are they really grown? It's like, who are you proving that to? But we all be like, I'm grown. But the way she says it, it's a little different, because her mother, you know, pretty much cares for her in a sense. So they were saying that she has to grow up. She needs to mature a little bit, because that's not what she was doing, or that's not what she presents. Simultaneously, you have Gizelle having a conversation with Monique and saying to her, you know, you were a little aggressive last night. You need to bring it down a notch. You were in her face. You were pointing your fingers and all of that. And, you know, I'm going to be honest. While I was watching that, I was thinking that's too close for comfort. You can't be yelling and screaming like that in my face. And I, you know, because I'm really working on me, and though I've come a long way, the inner beast will come out. You can't be doing that much in my face. I only can tolerate so much. And that few times we seen that pointing and somebody had to grab her hand, honey, that was too much. But they all know they need a paycheck. So whoever takes the first swing, likely you could be fired, right? So when Katie and Ashley go to the tarot reading, it's specifically for Ashley. Katie's crazy ass says she has some kind of surgery, I guess some sweat gland surgery, so that she don't sweat in her palms. She probably don't sweat nowhere no more. Well, that's not healthy for your body, I don't think. So was it just specifically for her hands, or was it her whole body? Y'all let me know down below in the comments, because I got the impression that it was for her hands. But if she had her sweat glands go, because they made some mention about her coochie not sweating, that then there's some bit of, you know, I don't think that that's healthy. I think, you know, your sweat glands are to help cool your body down. What happens when you get too hot? You pass out if you don't have sweat glands cooling you down. Nevertheless, so Ashley's the one getting the tarot reading, and she tells the, what do they call? Tarot reader, that's what I'm gonna call him. She tells him, she lets him know, you know, what is it that you want to talk about, or what is it that you're looking for in the cards? And he said fertility. She said fertility. You know, I want to have a baby. And he said fertility issues. So she picks her cards or whatever, and he comes up and there's one, and he's like, oh, there's 1 out of 15 oh shit cards. And she said that's bad. And pretty much what he says is something to the effect of, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Now, when he said that, when he said that, I thought, well, anybody could make that assumption. Because we know you want to have a baby, you're putting too much pressure on yourself, let it happen naturally, you're still young, there's nothing wrong with you. Well, you haven't been to the doctor, but you should go to the doctor if you think something's wrong with you in a normal case. So I just was like, yeah, no. But then when she asked, when do you see me having a baby? And he said within a year, and to know that she's pregnant now, I thought, okay, tarot cards, well then read her then. Okay, have you ever been to a tarot reading? Let me know down below in the comment. I know a lot of you are believers and probably think of that as witchcraft or voodoo or something, but really, is it? Like, if your beliefs are strong and planted with God, I don't think any of that matters, right? Because you'll have a prophet come and tell you, you know, or a prophetess come and tell you and speak into your life and tell you what thus said the Lord. So it's kind of the same thing. It's all about the intention behind it. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. I say that all the time. Me and one of my friends had a falling out. I ain't talked to her in a couple weeks because she talked about witchcraft. I said, well, your ancestors, they didn't believe in Christ. They didn't know who Christ was. Witchcraft was their thing. It's the intention behind it. Anyway, y'all know I'm a believer, but I don't believe in putting or persecuting somebody else for what they believe. Okay, now everything has a good and bad intention, like crystals, etc. I'm off that soapbox. Then you see them go lingerie shopping, and when I looked at Ashley's boobs, I was like, her little 30-year-old, 29-year-old titties is real perky. I want me some tassels, but my shit would probably be so far down that they wouldn't spin with the whole jumping. Y'all forgive me, but I'm just saying, okay? So then we see Gizelle and Candiace at the Dookie Chase restaurant, and my little heart, my eyes filled up with tears seeing the late Leah Chase come on and talk about her food. And she talked about the civil rights movement, how they would come and they would sit together, and that would be the meeting place. They had some gumbo that looked so delicious. I like the piece of advice that Miss Leah gave, which was, told the ladies, you're beautiful and you need to look in the mirror every day and say, I am the prize. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I do my own affirmations in the morning, but I am definitely gonna add I am the prize to my affirmations. Say it with me. I am the prize. I mean, we know it, but you know, sometimes we need to be reminded, and every day I think I want to remind myself. Then at the alligator swamp tour, you see Karen, Robyn, and Monique. They showed us Brutus. It wasn't nothing really happening there except for Karen got a little scared and she was a little extra. I mean, don't feed the alligators. Don't ask to feed the alligators if you know he's gonna come up and chomping and you're gonna jump and run or whatever you're gonna do. Now I'd go, it seemed a little, I would be taken aback, but I would definitely take a swamp tour the next time I am in Louisiana, specifically New Orleans. I am going to make sure that I go on a swamp tour, also visit Dookie Chase and Cafe Du Monde. So later that evening, the ladies need to get dressed because it is Gizelle's pop's 80th birthday party. They are wearing all white, and I was looking at Katie thinking to myself, you look so dusty and dirty. Why is that? What is it about her that looks like she's just rolled in the dust? Oh, she smokes cigarettes. Y'all do know y'all start looking a little dirty, a little dingy when you smoke. All that smoke gets into your skin. Okay, is that just me, or am I just being biased because I don't smoke? But I promise you, when I look at people who smoke, I always think your skin would be so much brighter if you didn't smoke. Anyway, moving right along, Gizelle does a courtesy call to try and tell both Candiace and Katie we're leaving in a few moments. Honey, Katie and Karen get left because they are late. I thought that it was lovely that Gizelle had a second line for her father. I mean, this dirty bird is really getting on my nerves. Oh, before we get to the second line, when they were on the bus, everybody but Gizelle, because Gizelle left with her dad who was waiting for her downstairs in the hotel lobby, she actually took the moment, Ashley took the moment to apologize to Monique, and it felt sincere to me, and I'm glad that Monique received it. She was like, I didn't need the apology, but I'm glad that she understands and she feels like that they can move forward now. But here's the thing, it's because they've experienced the same thing with the miscarriage, and the loss of a baby will change you. The loss of a person, period, will actually change you. You start reflecting. So imagine losing the baby that you were carrying in your womb for 5 months, and then it's gone. You feel empty, you know, that whole thing. I've never carried a baby and lost a baby, thank you Jesus, but my heart goes out to people who have. So I think on that level that they can relate, and I'm really glad that Monique thinks that they can move forward now. So let's go back to the gesture that Gizelle did for her father on his 80th birthday after they get off the trolley. There is a second line waiting with them with an escort, a police escort. Fortunately, the ladies arrive right behind them, and they join in with the party going down to the restaurant, which they didn't tell us the name of the restaurant or the facility that they were in, or I might have missed it, and if I did, let me know down below in the comments. And honey, they out there in that humid weather, you know, dancing, march dancing down or whatever. I don't know what it's called. Don't come for me, okay? My background may have some Louisiana in it, but I ain't never did a second line, okay? I never, none of that ever, okay? I wouldn't even, that footwork they be doing, it would not be me, okay? I'd be on the sideline clapping my hand. Anyway, they go inside and the family is there. Gizelle starts to say hello and welcoming her family, and they start, you know, trickling in. You see her cousins, you see her uncles, you see her aunts, you see family friends. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be a beautiful occasion. It's nicely decorated. That first cousin, that girl cousin, when Gizelle walked up and said hi to her, honey, when I tell you she gave her daggers, like, bitch, you know we don't fool with each other. Y'all better go ahead and rewind that back. If you didn't see it, you better go check, okay? She looked at her like, I know you fucking lying. That's how she was looking at her. Let me back up and say on the bus, it looks like Ashley agrees, and there's a consensus again that Monique needs to grow up. Well, after they've arrived for a bit, Karen's there. Finally, Karen and Katie get there late. All the ladies go out to the patio and they have a conversation because they hadn't seen each other. Let's discuss whatever we did. They share the day's events. They go back in so that they can start to eat. Well, in the process, Karen asks Candiace what happened, and she pulls. Oh no! Wait! See, this is how I be messing up. So while they're at the table, Monique feels like she needs to apologize for being assertive or aggressive like she was. Because that was not assertive, that was not passionate, it was definitely aggressive. Those were like fighting movements, right? And so based on the conversation she had earlier with Gizelle, she went ahead and said, let me apologize. And so she apologized, and Candiace said, you know what? I'm hoping we can move forward. I'd really like to be there for you while you're going through the process. And Ashley was like, no, it's gonna take me a moment. Like, I was like, good, Ashley, and it ain't got nothing to do with you being a loner. It got a lot to do with you attacked me. You attacked me, you didn't know nothing about me, you didn't ask me, you be smiling in my face how much you want to be my friend, and bitch, you coming for me. So, you know, and it, you know, she could have left it at that. It's just like, I'm going to need time. I'm not sure what direction I can go. It takes me a while. I love hard. So we're going to have to hold on a second, okay? Hold on, hold. So Steve arrives and Gizelle introduces him to the ladies. Robyn asks Steve what happened to their relationship. And I'm all like, so that's what you asked Gizelle. You don't ask Steve. Unless Gizelle says it's okay. Like, you don't put her on the spot. But I'm sure maybe one of the producers said, girl, you need to ask. And it was said that it was a he said, she said. Gizelle had heard that he had said something or had done something, and that was it. Cross the line, I'm done, over. And I told y'all before, that is a Virgo trait. Like, oh, okay, you got me looking stupid and embarrassed. I'm good. I'm good. Especially, you know, if we don't have no real strong ties. But they had been together for a year and a half. So I don't know why she was really quick to leave. Maybe her moon or her rising is something else, like Taurus, you know, or Capricorn. No nonsense, okay? I mean, Virgo's no nonsense already, but couple that with another earth sign. Or even maybe an Aries. Like, I'm gonna fight you. Anyway, so then Karen comes and joins the party after talking to Candiace, and I'm thinking, girl, you are something else. Like, that's how we found out that they had only dated for a year and a half. And that's also when she decided to take it upon herself. Oh, she ran you away too? Because, you know, we noticed something as her friends that we want her to work on. You want people to keep boundaries, understand boundaries, not ask questions. Karen, you're going to have to give that same respect. You're going to have to do those same things you want reciprocated to you. How does somebody know how they want you to treat them? You have to show them. And normally what I exhibit to you is probably what I'm expecting back. So I know y'all be hard on Gizelle, but that's the friendship her and Karen have. Like, their friendship has been tumultuous the whole time we've known them, and it ain't getting no better, okay? Like, but I really think that Karen Karen overstepped her boundaries in this instance. So at the bar tabletop, you had a few of the ladies sitting. Candiace had not arrived. She was one of the last people, as was Gizelle, but pretty much the other ladies were there, and Karen decided that she was going to stir the pot after she done told Monique that Gizelle needs to mind her own business and quit stirring the pot. Oh, you just did the same thing you said she shouldn't be doing. See, that's what I don't get. I don't get how you gonna talk about somebody when you do the same thing. You really thought you was helping when you said, well, Candiace feels like you're not sincere, Ashley. That you really don't mean that you kind of wishy-washy or fake or whatever the fuck the words was. Y'all have been cursing again lately, and I'm sorry if it offends you, but not really. And so I just was like, Karen, why did you do that? Because you wanted to see him go at it? Because it went from 0 to 100 real quick. Real quick. And loud, to the point where there was an expletive thrown out by Candiace, to the point where the guests at the birthday party had started to look, and Gizelle had to say, hold on, lady, that's enough. This is over. We aren't having this conversation anymore. This is my father's 80th birthday. Honey, I was like, Karen, you ought to be ashamed of yourself, and then you're going to turn around and look like you ain't do nothing. Like, girl, you know, now I'm looking down here at my notes, and I said my temper would not allow for too much more of Candiace's finger pointing in my face. Probably at the table, I would have had enough. That would have been enough is enough. Okay? I'm going to slap your hand, and then we're going to be fighting. Okay? Because that's a pet peeve of mine. You can't be pointing in my face. If you really want to fight me, and you really want to see if I can go from a 0 to 100 real quick, point at me in my face while you yell. Point at me, period. Like, every time I've been out. Listen, never mind. So Gizelle goes to the back and gets the cake and calls out Candiace. And then, because she wanted Candiace to sing happy birthday for her dad. And I'm all like, oh, okay. She didn't warm up her vocals. She knew she was going to sing happy birthday. Because what had happened was, happy birthday, sound like me, to you. No, I can't sing. So much so that Ashley decided she was going to join in. And when I tell you she was walking by and she joined in, I fell the fuck out. Like, laughing loud, holding my stomach. Like, you know that was a solo rendition. That was not a group. Happy birthday to you. It was not. It was a happy birthday to you. Like, that wasn't for a sing-along, okay? I mean, I think that what she said was, well, she would have held that birthday so long, we'd still be sitting here waiting for the cake to get cut. So it was shade. It was definitely shade under that tree, okay? They ride back to the hotel. Everybody's tired. Gizelle's like, get some rest and pack your bags. You know, we had a long day. I don't have anything else planned. Honey, we see Gizelle going into the room 3 hours later. We like, oh, that's what's up. You tiptoeing 3 hours later. Is that why? And just so happens the next day, day 4, they go on the steamboat ride, and she shares with everyone that Steve came back to the hotel and he wanted to come up, and then that nosy motherfucking Karen, who don't want nobody in her business, La Dame, talking about the perfume, talking about the branding, talking about her house, all of that. She don't want nobody in their business, talking about Ray and his taxes. You don't want nobody in your business, but you went straight to, oh, he came up to the room. She said no, he wanted to, and she kissed him. You know, and sometimes rekindling something, and you know, she in a space. And then here comes Karen with the Sherman question. You know, and I'm all like, come on, Karen. Come on, Karen. Let me also say that Katie's room was a mess. That was a hotel, and it was a hot mess. I mean, at home, your house be a mess. But you're at a hotel, it shouldn't be that messy, should it? Anyway, Monique also lets us know when she gets back, she will be arriving at the same time as some of her house guests for her rainbow, not baby shower, but celebration for the baby. You know, celebration of life. I don't know what she called it. I forgot. But they will be arriving, and her mother-in-law will be staying with them, and that will be the first time that she will be staying with them in Potomac. Baby, that's gonna be something, because that mama is something else. You know, you want to be respectful of people's mamas. You know you do. That's gonna be something. So I can't wait till next episode for that. Okay, so we saw Candiace overreact about the bug, come back with some mimosas, and that's when we got to the whole Gizelle talking about Steve, and then Karen poking and prodding about Sherman, and she says, I don't want to talk about Sherman. Now, she didn't say it, I don't want to talk about Sherman to you before at her house when she came to extend the olive branch. Like, sometimes you want people to respect your boundaries, Karen, but you aren't doing it. You're poking and you're prodding. So they go to the Cafe Du Monde, and Monique goes back to the hotel because she's feeling exhausted. She has overexerted herself. Kathy, who had got left at the hotel, didn't get on the steamboat, joined them at the cafe for beignets. Have y'all ever had a beignet? I'm sure if you're from that region you have. I have not had an authentic beignet, and I'm gonna need to have one, an authentic beignet. Someone to make one from scratch. I'm sure they got somebody here in California that does it, but I need a visit to New Orleans, however you say it. I need a visit. I'm from California, so I would say New Orleans, right? For me, a beignet. So Karen, again, as they're sitting after Gizelle graciously orders 6 beignets and 1 small hot chocolate, Karen begins to be messy. You know what I'm saying? She been itching to talk about seeing Sherman with some chick up in, was it Saks or Bloomingdale's, one of them high-end stores, okay? Which proved to her that, you know, Gizelle wasn't with her, or somebody she knows saw him in this high-end store, department store, with someone else, and it wasn't Gizelle. So she instantly says, it was nice to see you smiling again. And she's like, I'm always smiling. She was like, I mean with a man. Ho? Are you kidding me? You not, huh? She did it once on Queen Creole, and so then she decides to do it again in Cafe Du Monde, and it goes left. She decides she wants to bring up Sherman. I thought you and Sherman, you guys aren't together anymore, because Robyn said something to the effect of, how does it feel, you know, did you get excited and want to open up after Sherman? And she was like, Sherman is dead, it's over, that's over. You know, like, shut up, Robyn. I don't want to talk about him. He really hurt me. He scorned me. He broke my heart. I'm trying to get over him. And then Karen on the heels with, I thought you guys were in counseling. I thought you guys were working it out. So Gizelle reminds her of the conversation they had at her house in Great Falls, that she did not want to have this conversation about Sherman with her. You asked that I set boundaries with that. You've asked that we set boundaries. I'm setting my boundary and stacks up the napkin holders. She puts them down like she's joking, but she's already told you more than one time that this is a line that she does not want to cross with you, because she explains you are friends. That's my version. You are friends with his ex. And considering the current state of their relationship, what it was last season and what it is this season, I'm sure they be kikiing and ha-ha, and I don't give a fuck how close you were when you feel like you've been scorned and she dogging you about raised taxes and talking about you. I'm sure you have returned the favor. So I don't fault Gizelle at all for not wanting to discuss the Sherman counseling, her and Sherman not together situation with Karen. Respect my boundaries, Karen. And when she said that, she should have respected it. She should have respected it, but she did not. She kept going and poking and prodding. And finally, I was like, okay, well, Gizelle really held herself together. There's some real growth there. Karen kept going and going, and then she said, you know what, Gizelle, I feel offended, disrespected, and attacked by you. And her words verbatim, you will never fucking disrespect me again. Stay in your fucking place. Receive it. Gizelle was like, okay. Now see, like I said, that's some serious growth. Because Gizelle could have just really went off and been like, I don't know who the fuck you think you talking to. You've been saying to me about boundaries and respecting your boundaries and your privacy, and you need a moment for us to heal as friends, and you want me just to open up to you? You just want me to open up and start talking to you? I will not. You are a hypocrite. Respect my boundaries. Like, she could have went there. So I'm going to go ahead and do a curtsy, because Gizelle, I'm proud of you, girl. I'm proud of you for keeping it together. Robyn decides she want to low-key check Karen, and she's like, so there's no need to curse. There's no need for us to curse. Gizelle just wants you to respect her boundaries, and you should understand that. I'm grown and I can curse if I want to, but I'll take what you said under advisement. I'm all like, girl, yeah, we can curse, but what are you upset about? What are you offended for? What do you feel disrespected by? Because she said, I don't want to share with you. I mean, that's what you've been saying, right? Y'all, I know y'all probably feel differently about that, so y'all can tell me all about it down below in the comments, because I feel like she continuously told her, I don't want to talk to you about it. Just as Karen had been doing to Gizelle, right? So now both of them need to learn boundaries, right? Both of them need to be able to respect when I tell you I don't want to talk about it, be like, okay. And that's a problem with a lot of friends. If I say, I'm not in a good space right now, but I don't want to talk about it, don't poke and prod. I know you're my friend and all, but don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, because I'm going to get an attitude, and you can be like, you got an attitude. Well, I told you not to bother me about it. Let's move on. When I'm ready, we'll talk about it. So we saw in the confessional that Gizelle had finally resolved that her and Karen would never be the same type of friends again. I think we all knew that. I think you was trying too hard. I think we saw that a long time ago, that y'all would never be the same friends. The moment you put that t-shirt on about raised tax-free, raised tax, or whatever the hell the t-shirt said last season, your friendship had gone down the drain, and you had done that. I'm going to go ahead and say you had done that. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't nothing funny about it. Okay? I am your girl, Talisa Rae. Let me know what you think about this episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. I mean, when we look at the snippets, it looks like some shit is about to go down. Monique, Ashley, Candiace, Gizelle, Karen, Robyn, and I think it's gonna be Robyn and Gizelle. Like, you are a cold-hearted bitch, and that's the only person that they call that to, unless they talk to Ashley. So I'm ready to see what this season is all about. I'm gonna try to be consistent, because Sundays are now jam-packed. I'll be back with my Southern Charm New Orleans review. And I'm going to try to stick with all three of these shows. and add snowfall when it comes. Thank you so much for watching my review of The Real Housewives of Potomac season 4 episode number 6. If it's your first time visiting my channel, you can click that red subscribe button to become a ray of sunshine, and you're there, so you might as well click the notification bell, and you can catch all of my Real Housewives of Potomac reviews. For me, okay? For me, give me a thumbs up because you like me and I'll know it's real. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next review.